Yeah, so let me give you your flowers. Okay, no pun intended.
You want to take cookies out the house? Okay, congratulations, you got your first job.
Like, take me out this car and put me in an Uber.
That many of us, would have taken, that step.
Like Joel James saying, you ain't sneezing, it ain't season.
But
before I let go.
Stripes and plaid, and it's like, I can do what I want to do, and it looks great.
Process, is it best for them to acquire, a PR person?
It's great, and that you can do it. My father was an entrepreneur. My father's an entrepreneur.
At this age now, I'm kind of like, could I move back? Before I was like, I'm never going back.
Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sadie Says It All, Meet the Woman Behind the Business series. Y'all, once again, I know y'all get tired of me saying this. We got another fire guest for you because that's all we do or bring you, the Black women small business owners that are just doing it. All right. So today, I am so excited to have with us, and she was actually one of our covers, y'all. She was one of the covers of one of our issues of Meet the Woman Behind the Business magazine. But we have Terry McDonald, who is the owner of T McDonald Cosmetics. Welcome, Terry.
Yes, Sadie, nice to see you. Thank you for the introduction.
Girl, I'm so glad that we can finally connect, y'all, because we supposed to have been going out for brunch or lunch or something for a minute, but we're going to make that happen. We're going to make it
for the longest, but we're going to make it happen. God going to make it happen when it needs to happen.
Yes.
And it's going to be a time we ain't never going to forget, so don't worry.
I know, yes. So, Terry, I always like to ask our guests where it is that you're located, just so that our audience is familiar. So Terry, where is it that you're located?
Yes, so T McDonald Cosmetics is located in Jersey City. However, I am a New Yorker, born and raised.
We hear that. We hear that.
Yes, born and raised. Yes, I'm in the Bronx.
Well, it's always so good, though, to connect with women from all over the country here, having guests from like Kentucky, to the Bronx, to wherever. And we all have that whole common thing of being Black women small business owners. So I love that. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So now, Terry, with you being in the whole cosmetic industry, I want to ask you, because now, have you always had a love for cosmetics? Like, when did you first discover that passion for it? Because, it's definitely something that you got to have a knack for and a love for in order to continue and pursue it. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you got involved in the cosmetics industry.
Yeah, so I've had a love for cosmetics since I was about 6, 7 years old. I spent a lot of time by myself, girl, and I would be in my room, and I had a doll. Her name was Sparkle. She had a little crown, and I don't know what they did to their hair back then, but I was able to curl her hair. So I used to plug in my mother's curling iron, and I used to curl her hair. And then my aunt, she did nails. So I don't know if you remember back in the days they had the caboodles. You remember the caboodles?
Yes, girl.
Yes. The caboodle, she had it was like red, like a magenta with green, and she had all her nail stuff in there. And I would go in there when she's not home, and I would grab it and use her nails, and I would just decorate with the fine tooth brush and everything. So I was into nails and hair growing up, and coming from a Caribbean background, every weekend it was a party. It was a party every weekend. So hair is being done, nails is being done, makeup is being done. And I just really just watched my mother and my aunt and, my family just get ready. And I just started to have a love for it. And I taught myself. At first, I was 10 years old. I had a nail business. And I was doing nails on the weekend, girl. Yes, I was. So I always had that knack of entrepreneurship. And I grew up around it. My grandfather was a great entrepreneur. Where I grew up in the Bronx, the 5-story building, he owned it. He owned the building. He owned the lot right next to it. He had a gas station. He was a serial entrepreneur. So I grew up around, that environment. And I just, at 10, I started doing nails. I was babysitting as well, picking up kids, 4 kids, $50 a head. And I was just making my money, and then I just continued it throughout high school. You know, I would do my own nails, my feet. You know, I would have my customers as well that were going out or just friends from school, and I just continued with it. I mean, I didn't know that I would be in the industry, doing what I'm doing now. You know, God moves in mysterious ways, and but you know, I was going to school to become a labor and delivery nurse, and then God was like, I got other plans for you, girl. And here I am. So it's always been since I was little. And my grandmother as well, she made her own clothing. She was a church goer, her and her sister, and she made her own clothes. And she would do fashion shows. They would sew and do fashion shows at the church and all of that. So, you know, not them probably not even knowing the impact that they had at the time, you know, and teaching me how to sew, but now to be able to take everything that I've learned and grew up with and be able to apply it now into my life, I think it's a beautiful thing. So that's how I started.
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing, you know, having those staples in your life that were showing you without really knowing that they were going to contribute perhaps to who you are today. I think that is an absolutely beautiful thing. And it's great to be able to look back and say that these people had that influence on you. So, yeah. So, speaking of which, now, did you happen to have any mentors within the cosmetics industry that kind of maybe, you know, whether it was lending words of encouragement or helpful tips, did you have anyone that perhaps kind of took you under your wing, you know, in the cosmetics industry?
In the industry when I was working in retail, like for instance, when I was at Sephora, you know, Sephora has a multitude of different brands, right? So as a manager, I was able to build those relationships with those brands, especially one that stood out the most was Smashbox. Their global artist, her name was Stephanie Vasquez, good friend of mine still, and she would come and her and I would have different conversations, and you know, she'll include me in different activations for Smashbox, and really just was an amazing person that was not a gatekeeper and was able to show me some of the ropes and even some of her tips and tricks as an artist. And as a manager as well, my employees also, you know, was influenced because as artists, you always learn from each other. No matter how seasoned you are, you always have to have that wanting to know and wanting to know what's going on. So I would learn from the other makeup artists, to, you know, how they were able to apply their liner, how they do certain things, and see how I'm able to apply that as well, and vice versa, you know, in my own beauty techniques and also in the industry, just what I can apply. So those really, I didn't really per se have a mentor that really, like, to this day that's walking with me and guiding me. It was literally just the connections that I've made, and what I was able to take from that.
No, it's big to say that because even as you do business alongside of, you know, certain individuals, they could even be in a completely different business and you pick up certain things from individuals as you go along. So I think it's important to say that. And then, like you were saying, being open to actually learning from someone that may be a student, but like you said, there are processes that are always evolving. And it's great to be able to pick up on what somebody else doing and be like, wait a minute, do that again.
Right, exactly. And that's what brings the fun into it. Like, as an artist, like me personally, I mean, I've been doing this for over 13 years. And let me tell you, even the Gen Zs now, when you watch them and see how they're applying their makeup and what they do, and I'm just like, oh, that was cool. Let me see how I'm able to incorporate that. So once as an artist, just as a person, you're always willing to learn, and that's how you grow, you know, and be able to excel and give back to somebody else. So that's the type of artist I am. I'm not a gatekeeper, and I'm always willing to learn.
Yeah. Now, with you saying about giving back to, you know, others, you happen to be in a position where you actually, and I don't know if you still do, because I know it's been a little bit since we talked, but you would work with students as well, right? To where you would somewhat like mentor them. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, your work with students or what it is that you do, pouring back into your community in that way?
Yes. So besides being a makeup artist and beauty brand owner, I also teach cosmetology. I was teaching with high school students. Now I'm with middle school. So for high school, when I was with high school, I was able to kind of just create my own curriculum. And with the high school students, it was great for me to teach them how you can utilize beauty as not just a way to just show up for yourself and look good, but just them as growing young adults, self-discovery. How are you taking care of yourself? At that age, they want to date, they want to do all these different things. So I'm like, well, how are you incorporating it? How are you getting to know you and fixing what's on the inside in order for you to be able to tell, your boyfriend or your significant other that this is how I want you to treat me. So with that, being able to give, be that person for them. And also those who were interested in the beauty and fashion industry, they were able to, come with me, be a part of my business and come with me for different shows. They'd be able to volunteer. So they were able to make connections with show producers who may be looking for volunteers to set up for fashion shows. So they get that hands-on to see what that industry is about, who they can connect with, and see if that's something that they would like to continue with. And those who are seniors or college students as well. I work with students from Baruch College, where I go to their shows as a designer. She has a clothing line where she designs for her peers, college students who just want to look comfy and have affordable clothing. So with her, I give back. I come show up to her shows that she has at Baruch College, and I do makeup, glam, and give back to her. And in return, she's able to come on set whenever we have shows and able to kind of see how it is. So one day when she decides to have her pieces down on the runway, she can already have an idea of what that's about. And with the program with my business, I'm able to create, a cohesive program where they can utilize me as a reference, and they'll have the hours that they need to put towards their career for internship. So I create that for them, whether it's content creation, whether you're volunteering with me at fashion shows, whether I'm, passing you on to other maybe photographers if you're into photography, or you're into blogging, whatever it may be. I use my resources and connections in the industry to be able to pair them up with them and get that exposure.
Wow, that is priceless, though. I mean, just the experience in and of itself, not a lot of young people can say, well, and I've seen the footage from some of the shows and stuff that you do. This ain't no little, and no, not taken away from a smaller scale show, but what I'm saying is that it truly is an experience for them to actually be a part of that, and for you to have that open for them, to experience, and then for, them to gain the hours or whatever credits towards that. So that's cool, girl.
Yes.
It's kind of like you said, others poured into you, and then you turning around and pouring into, the student.
Yeah, absolutely. And just being for them, the person that I needed, growing up, because growing up, it was like you had to be a lawyer, you had to be a doctor. Entrepreneurship wasn't glorified,
No.
So for our students now who are now more creatives, to give them that cushion to know that, hey, you can be a doctor if you want to, but you can also tap into your creativity. You can create that side hustle for yourself. And maybe that side hustle will no longer be a side hustle and actually be a business where you can make your own hours, work for yourself, and create that life that you want. So,
just having the option. Yeah, having the option to do something other than, and not knocking, 9 to 5, because we need those too, but just having the option, because when I was growing, I really didn't see entrepreneurship as an option, especially where I'm from. So, where I'm from, 2 stoplights, child, clay dirt roads, little town, South Carolina. So, taking it back a amount of years ago. Now, I'm not ashamed of my age, but anyhow, we just didn't have that option, especially this little Black girl growing up in that area. People were doing the best that they could. And I just think it's so great now, which is why I am so passionate about the magazine, this podcast, connecting with these Black women, small business owners, because many of us may have been like I was and didn't see this as an option, because your parents were looking at you like, where, you going to finish school, or if you ain't finishing school, you're going to work somewhere. So,
you're going to go
figure it out.
Get your paycheck. We ain't doing this entrepreneurship thing. Trust me, Caribbean house, from the islands as well. You know,
Yeah.
and it's to me it's so cliche because when you go to the islands, that's all you
Mhm.
see. It's
Ooh.
entrepreneurship. The
Ooh.
vendors outside, they're selling
Right.
pineapple, they're selling what that's all you see. So
Right.
again, I because it's more of a means of survival for them, they're not really looking at it. Maybe now it's different, but not really looking at
Mhm.
it from that point of view. But
Right.
entrepreneurship, you
But
know?
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Girl. Well, you know what? So
Mm-hmm.
everybody or anybody who watches this podcast, y'all know that we get into a little game we like to play.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to get into that game, but I do have one other question for you. I mean, being that we were just touching on entrepreneurship and the option, you know, having that
Mhm.
option now, what words of encouragement would you give to someone who perhaps is feeling like the imposter syndrome coming on or feeling like they don't belong in the spaces that they are entering into? Like what, because I see the circles you kind of move in, and girl, you
Mhm.
are a force. And I think it might be easy sometimes for people to kind of feel like as they're making that rise, do I
Mhm.
belong in this space? Am I ready for this space? Am I good enough for this space? So, what
Mhm.
words of encouragement or just what words of inspiration would you have to someone who's perhaps getting into that mindset?
Whew. Well, I've gotten, believe it or not, well, thank you. Even though I'm in those spaces, we're human beings, right?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
yes, we're human beings. And even me myself, believe it or not, I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa, you know, the anxiety comes on. I'm like, this is a
Right.
lot. But
Mhm.
I've always said, if you want to get close to God and know who God is, start a business. Start a
Girl.
business. Okay. And the best thing advice that I can give that works for me is whenever
Mhm.
you feel that you're about to be in some rooms with people that you know you've never been in contact with before, give yourself
Mhm.
some grace. Give yourself some grace.
Mm.
Sit down with yourself, you know, whether it's music, whatever it is, and just give yourself some grace. Have that time and really kind of just think about like, God, what is it that you really want me to do? Why did you put me in these rooms?
Mhm.
It's the reason why, because it's because you can always stop, right? You can always stop where
Mhm.
you are, right? But then
Mhm.
it's hard if you give up and it's hard if you keep going. So what are you going to
Right.
do? Right?
Yeah.
So it's all about perspective. But the best thing to do is give yourself that grace and
Mhm.
allow yourself to open up to receiving and open up for change. Allow yourself
Mm.
to, because it's like a resistance. If you're not allowing it, it's going to make it even harder, because believe it or not, a lot of us creatives are doing what we're doing, and we can't stop even if we wanted to, because this is what God wants you to do. So you can
Right.
sit there and pout all you want to, because God said, "Go ahead, get the time you need, because you're gonna get up in a few minutes." So
Right.
it's accepting your gift and what is it that you're on earth to do, and give yourself some
Mm.
grace. Give yourself some grace. The
Mm.
human beings.
Wow. You know what? That's the first time I've heard an answer for that question in that way. That is amazing because like you said, you're only human. You're going to feel
Mhm.
certain things, you know, especially when something is new to you.
Absolutely.
Um, so giving yourself that grace, sometimes, yeah, you do have to stop, because I'm kind of applying that, what you just said. I'm thinking about, you know, a meeting I just had, a phone conversation I just had today
Mhm.
that is leveling everything up, you know,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, like I'm gonna do it,
Yeah,
but girl,
I'm telling you, like I experienced it myself too before I got off the phone with you. I'm like, you know, things that's happening. I'm just like, I can't believe. Like, if you was to ask me this 5 years ago, or
Mhm.
more, I would have never known I'd be sitting here. And
Yeah.
when you know that your calling and what you're doing is inspiring not just yourself, but inspiring your
Mhm.
children and inspiring others who may
Yes.
who may be going through the same things as you, but of course nobody talks about it, right?
Mhm.
It just makes you like, listen, I just
Mhm.
have to do it. Do it scared, do
Mhm.
it broke, just do it.
Yeah. Yep. Scrap
And
up
look, and
that
I'm
change.
telling myself this too. I'm telling myself this too. I'm gonna do it scared. I'm gonna do it broke. I'm just gonna do it because
Yeah.
it's bigger. It's bigger than me, and even you, Sadie, it's bigger than you. So
Yeah.
you can quit even if you wanted to. You could take a break, but when it's your calling, man, you
Right.
just got to do it. And we may not see the beauty in it right now. We may not
Mhm.
understand certain aspects, but I'm sure once you keep going, it would all
Yeah.
make sense to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all the do it scared for me. So
Oh, girl, I'm scared all the time.
I'm scared right now. But I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it.
I'm like, Lord, what I'm
Well, because sometimes like we pray for certain opportunities,
Right.
and certain things to come about, and then when it comes about, then you're like, oh,
But I didn't know it was gonna be this fast. Like,
right now, like,
right?
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but thank you for those
Mhm.
words, because like I said, a lot of times you don't hear it in that way, as far as we put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
Yes, we
So,
do.
reminding ourselves to give ourselves grace, especially when it's something that's new to you. You're only human. Let yourself feel all of that,
Mhm.
and then go on and do what you got to do.
Go on and do what you got to do, and then when you go and you do it, you be like, that was fast, like, And then the best thing to do, I always say, after you
Mhm.
do that, after all the anxiety and all of that you felt, the uncertainty, even want to say, I'm not
Mhm.
going to do it anymore. Celebrate,
Mhm.
celebrate the small wins.
Mhm.
Even if it's
Ah,
a glass of wine, even if it's staying up a little extra hour later, whatever it may be, even in dancing in your bathroom by yourself, whatever it may be, celebrate that. Because then
yeah.
after that, it becomes, when you're put in a situation again like that, it will come
Mhm.
a little bit, it'll be more easier for
Right.
you to handle. Because you're
Mhm.
like, all right, I
Mhm.
did it before, I got this. We just gonna
Right.
celebrate after, and we got it. So just give yourself, we just gotta give ourselves grace, girl.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay, love it. All right, so y'all, we're gonna get into our game. All right,
All right,
so
let's go.
this game is,
Mhm.
of course, the perfect game for this platform. The game is culture tags.
Okay.
Okay, the game is culture tags. And for any of you who are brand new to watching how this goes, let me explain the game to you. I'm gonna explain it, Laura. I'm gonna explain it to you. So there. Girl, all that South Carolina coming out. All right, so so the way the game works, okay,
Mhm.
they're cards, and on each card you will have an acronym, okay, on the front of the card.
Mhm.
Now, I am going to read off a clue to what
Mhm.
that acronym stands for. The only trick is that I cannot say a word, of course, that is in the answer in the acronym, okay? But
Okay.
the most fun thing about it is that all of these answers are from the culture. Okay? They're from the culture. There's something that we know about. So,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Get to
All right, I
somebody
got
else, they might not get it, but we get it.
We gonna get
We
it.
go. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Mhm.
we're going to start with this one. Let me make sure I get it in frame. Okay. So this category, let me give a category. It's
Mhm.
family and friends. Okay, it's family and friends. Okay, now let me get it so that it's no glare. Okay, there we go. All right,
Okay.
so this acronym, all right, so this is what people say whenever they go to the cookout, the family reunion. People need to know what person prepared this dish. They don't want no raisins in it. We don't
Who
want
made the
no.
potato salad?
Yes, girl.
Who made the potato salad? You don't want no raisins in
Yes.
the potato salad.
We need to know. We
Right?
need to know, child. We'll be playing no games.
Right?
This can't be the year that Tasha decided to make it. No, we need
Right?
Aunt Merlene making it, you know?
Right. Yes. That's who we need to make the potato salad.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, let me see. All right. So this one. All right. So we're only
Mhm.
going to play like two more cards. Okay. So this
Okay.
one, I don't know. This one is TV and film. Okay. So it's
Mhm.
TV and film.
Mhm.
Now, let me get it in frame so it ain't glaring. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know if the glare is showing too badly. I
Just a
don't
little
know.
bit. No, just a little. Okay.
Okay. All right. So this one is a TV and film, And it's the movie with Bill Bellamy where he was dating all these women.
How to be a
And
player. Yes. That
you know
soundtrack was amazing.
yes, yes, it was. That's when soundtracks used to do what they came to do.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I don't know what they're doing now. I need to be able to play it from top to bottom, various
Mhm.
artists, and get, like the Best Man soundtrack, Nutty
Yes.
Professor
Waiting
soundtrack.
to
Like,
exhale.
yes, yes. Like, I don't know. They
Mhm.
don't do it like they used to. They losing out because we would download it. We would buy that.
Yes. Especially a
Okay.
soundtrack for a movie.
Yeah. Okay, so this one, let me see. I don't know. That might be a little tricky. All right, I ain't gonna do that. All right, so
Mhm.
this one is family and friends.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, this one is family and friends. And this is what your mother says to you usually whenever you're asking her why you need to do this, that, or the other.
Because I said so.
Questions, just get over there
Because
and do it.
I said
Yes, child. That's all the reason you need.
so. That's it. Because I said so. Anything else?
Yeah. The next question.
Right?
Girl. Oh my gosh,
That
but
was fun.
that was so much fun, Terry. But thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us today. Also, just
Mhm.
for everybody who's watching, I'm going to include, of course, the link to Terry's Instagram page or social medias. I'm also going to have some images here of her products. So you have seen those throughout the show, of course. But y'all make sure y'all go check out her page, check out her website, child, so you can see what's really going on. That
Yes.
color lipstick that you're wearing.
Yes,
What is that?
ma'am.
What is
That's
that?
that's Divine Feminine from T McDonald Cosmetics. I had a feeling you was gonna ask me, so I had it on
Yeah.
hand so I could show you. So yeah, so this is called Divine Feminine. This is for my liquid matte lip cushion collection. This is
Oh.
21-hour wear. It's infused with vitamin E and coconut oil, and it's vegan and cruelty free. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
You
see,
can
I
use
don't
it
think
as
I
a
have
liner.
the.
I don't think you
Yeah.
have this one.
I do not. I do not. So,
Yes.
all right. So before we wrap up here, let's get into this.
hmm
Nate, give me your top 3 products from T McDonald. Like if you had to say, girl, you got to have these 3, what 3 would those be?
My 3,
Mhm,
high gloss lip cushion in Abundance,
mhm,
high gloss lip cushion in Vulnerable is a beautiful nude,
mhm.
and I would also say lashes in Adora.
Ooh, see, y'all, see
Mhm.
that's the point I'm making. She got everything. She got you covered.
Adora.
The
Yes,
whole, just beat the whole face in T McDonald.
yes, yes. The whole thing, the whole thing. We don't have skin products yet because I'm working on that. But for now, we have color, and it's an amazing product that has a beautiful meaning behind it. And I'm just excited to see where else God takes me and my
Girl.
brand. I'm
And
excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch and see where you go because I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
always. I'm a big fan, big fan.
Yes.
So,
Same here. And I thank you so much for your support, sis. Like you're amazing. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Like an
oh,
Instagram community and just how we bounce off of each other and support each other from the first time I met you, it's just been amazing. And I appreciate you, sister. And I can't wait to party with you in Houston.
yes. You know what? All right, we ain't going nowhere yet. Let's talk about Houston for a hot
Yes.
second, okay?
Let's talk about it.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so you Black women small business owners, let me tell you something. All right,
What
if
happened? What
you're
we doing?
looking for an event
Mm-hmm.
that represents sisterhood and community. And what I love about us, I'm going to say this too. What I love about this particular circle or group of women, we're from all over the country, but nobody, no matter how new your business is, no matter how long you've been around and doing it at your
Mm-hmm.
professional level, nobody's looking down on anybody. That's
No.
so important. You know how many times I've attended stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people don't give you the warmest reception necessarily because they don't feel that you're at a particular level. Well, I say everybody's got to start somewhere. And in order for us to continue and keep going, we got to
Mm-hmm.
look to our sisters and make them feel that, hey, girl, you got this. That's what we're
Absolutely.
there for. This community is about sisterhood. We're about uplifting and encouraging one another because you could have all the business tools at your fingertips any given
Mm-hmm.
day. But if you don't feel it in here,
Mm-hmm.
then child, I ain't fit to be going and doing nothing with nothing. If I'm not feeling
Yeah.
like what I'm
Yeah.
doing is with a purpose, or if I don't feel like it's making a difference, or
Mm-hmm.
you gotta feel those things. So the whole point of Meet the Woman Behind the Business,
Mm-hmm.
Best of Awards and Pop-Up Event Weekend that's taking place in Houston the weekend of October 17th, 18th, 19th. 17th is optional because we just going, but
Mm-hmm.
18th and 19th are where the bulk of, the meat of the event is taking place. And, that's the whole point of it, is to pour
Right.
into you, make you feel that, hey, I ain't in this by myself. You might physically,
Exactly.
have your business on your own, but there are other women here that are here to support you and be your
Mm-hmm.
sisters in this. You having a rough day, you struggling with something, your social media, ain't nobody liking that, go to your sister over here and be like, girl, well, I tried this, so maybe you'll try that. And, that's what we're there for, to kind of bounce things off of one another. And
Mm-hmm.
then also, you have to look at it this way. These women aren't just your sisters in business, but we buy cosmetics. We need fitness plans and programs. We need
Mm-hmm.
caterers. So we want to look to one another first before looking outside. And the way everything
Mm-hmm.
is going right now, we
Exactly.
might be we might be all we have. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we, want to make sure that we check in with one another first. But it's just going to be such a feel good weekend, girl. We got the pop up event. We got the
Right.
sisterhood community panel going on. We have a fashion show. Child, we're going to have some food. We're going to have some
Yeah.
drinks,
Yes.
And then that evening, so that's taking place on October 18th. And then that evening, we're having our sisterhood dinner. And then the
Mm-hmm.
sisterhood dinner is spilling right into our sip and paint sing along. And it's cultural. We're
Yes.
gonna be playing some Tevin Campbell. We're gonna all be Can We Talk, we're gonna
Yes.
play a little Jodeci. We
It's gonna be a good time. I'm excited. I'm excited. And we need each other, as you say, we need each other. Like we're
know.
all going through this. Look, I just shared with you that I'm fearful too. And you're like, girl, I'd be scared too. Like, and a lot of times we are ashamed to share that with other people and things that we're going through. But as entrepreneurs, this is hard. We need to be able to be vulnerable with some women who are not going to judge you and who genuinely want to see you win. Because
And
a lot of times you have women, they always could come is always a competition. Somebody competing
oh,
with you, and I don't even know I'm competing with you, girl. I'm over here struggling. I ain't got time to be paying attention to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, go somewhere.
I'm over here stressed.
Stressed out trying to get these things together. Like, so to be able again to be with a group of women who are mature and who really want to see each other win and however we can be of service to each other is very
Right,
important. And I
right.
really do love and applaud you for, having that
Mhm.
sister circle. I really do.
Oh, girl. Well, thank you. Well, let me just wrap up Sunday for y'all too, because I ain't getting Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday. Okay, we know how we
Mm-hmm.
love a good theme. All right, so that Sunday, which is October 19th, we're having our Bold, Bright, and Black affirmations brunch. Okay, so think of the polo classics and stuff, girl. Throw
Yes,
on your
ma'am.
bright colors. Come
Yes,
on
ma'am.
through. And so we're going to have our affirmations brunch. We will
Okay.
have someone speaking just for a few minutes because she's going to touch on something that's very important for us when we're, looking to manifest and just speaking positive things over our lives. We will have a brief little activity on that, which I'm so excited about. And then we
Mm-hmm.
roll into our best of awards. So we are going to have some nominations coming through soon so that we'll be able to present those awards at our
Okay.
best of awards ceremony. So yeah, and then after that, y'all, you want to hit them streets,
Yes.
baby. Them Houston streets,
Yes.
y'all. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sounds exciting. I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm really excited.
Well, I'm glad that you're actually coming because I was like, oh my God. Because, you just got that vibe, like all of the sisters that are involved with that, you just got that energy and stuff. And I love it. I love it.
Thank
All right,
you.
y'all. So I ain't going to keep y'all no longer because y'all still listening and watching. I know it. But anyhow, so Terry, again, thank you so much for joining us today. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Terry on all of her social media platforms. Make sure you check out T McDonald Cosmetics, child, because you will not regret it. You will not. I'm trying to tell you, I got a lipstick from her. Oh, and I got an eyeshadow palette. Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all check out T McDonald Cosmetics. Make sure you follow us here on Sadie Says It All, Meet the Woman Behind the Business Magazine platform. You can find us on YouTube. They changed it from Anchor, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. You'll find us pretty much anywhere you can listen to a podcast. And yeah, so again, thank you so much, Terry. And I will see everyone again next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.